Motor One got some interesting insider info here from Nissan's USA's chief product planner about their goals for the next generation of the GTR. So they said, number one, it has to be a very authentic car, authentic to its roots, and that it needs to have a Nurburgring performance record, just like the last one did. Because he says that's what established the car's cred, that it beat a Porsche 911 on its home turf. That needs to hold good. And that's a very high bar these days with how impressive 911s have gotten. Again, I'm not sure if he's talking about competing with the top versions of that or just, regular 911s that I'm assuming a regular GTR would compete with. But either way, I mean, they got their work cut out for them. And also, he did say that the car will need to be electrified to some degree, saying, lastly, that those big horsepower cars are simply not going to meet emission standards. So it's a matter of where the tech catches up with us. Battery tech, motor tech, and it may take us a few years, but GTR will be back without a doubt. So, I mean, I guess that's assuming the company continues to thrive or starts to thrive, I guess I should say, and that it doesn't go bankrupt or something. But as far as, Nissan being in control, GTR is going to happen again someday. But yeah, it's hard to imagine, again, a company that's really struggling this badly, how they're going to come up with, top-notch stuff to beat Porsche. But I mean, they did it in the past, and, hopefully they can do it again in the future. We'll see, but very interesting to hear that. And for even more info on the crazy ideas they have for the new GTR, the same product planner also spoke with the Drive and revealed to them that they're even thinking, can we do a next generation NSX and GTR off of the same platform, make the NSX authentic to what it stands for, and make a GTR authentic to what it stands for, so they are not clones. Can you co-develop two cars like that? I think we can, which is a pretty wild idea considering what those two cars are, and if you do want to keep them authentic. And he understands the outlandishness, it seems, of this idea, and made clear that this doesn't mean that this will happen, saying that the authenticity of this matters, and Acura NSX had a very different origin of what that car was. Super lightweight, all aluminum, and he added that the NSX is super precise, lightweight, aerospace execution, whereas a GTR is a brute, but a sophisticated brute. But he does say that he thinks it can be done. I guess we'll see. I think, the last we heard from Acura, NSX was going to be all electric. Now, that could change, but I assume that Acura is going to probably want to stick to that going forward. Again, if we're talking about something that's a Halo model, some advanced thing that's going to have a long production run, then you got to plan for the 2030s, in which case it should probably be electrified some way. And also the GTR concept we saw back at the end of 2023, I believe, that was also electric, using solid-state batteries hypothetically. And so if both of these cars are EVs, then that makes it a whole lot easier to kind of, wrap your head around this idea. Now, purists would say that making either of these EVs would kind of nullify the authenticity of both of them, because NSX isn't NSX unless it's mid-engine, and that, GTR isn't GTR unless it's a twin-turbo, 6-cylinder that's crazy. So you're never going to make those people happy with the switch to electrification, but again, if we're just talking about wild stuff, maybe NSX could be a lighter, simpler version, with no backseat, and GTR has a backseat, a little bit bigger and higher, but still have that same platform that's shared, possibly. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's just interesting, though. I love this new openness with these Nissan executives, kind of getting a peek behind the curtain and hearing them think out loud in a way of, where they could go with this stuff is very fascinating. Great to hear that.